Hi guys, I wanted to update you all on my decision on whether or not to reach out to my bio dad, and I just wanted to fill you guys in on that. I know that there is a new video that came out on the Leah and Blair's vlog, and Albert is on there, so I wanted to talk about all of that with you guys, you know, how I felt and all that stuff. So let's go in. Well, and again, you guys are getting ready with me, so I have to go do some errands and things like that, so just get ready with me and listen while we do my makeup. Okay. So the last time, you know, we talked about whether or not I should reach out to my bio dad was when, you know, Albert was in Thailand. He got his email, and you know, Albert actually emailed him when he got back. I had his information, but, you know, after thinking about it and, you know, thinking about kind of where I am in life and everything that I'm dealing with right now, I know I asked you guys for your opinion and, you know, just to, like, what you guys thought. Should I reach out to him? Should I not reach out to him? And, you know, a lot of you guys are, I think everyone is kind of like, hi, Liam. Everyone is kind of torn in the middle, you know. Some people. Yeah. Liam, say hi. Come here. Come here. Say hi, guys. You gotta say hi to everyone. Yeah. No. They're listening about the decision that I have to make. You're silly. Okay, let me finish this video. No? You want to stay here for it? Okay. All right, let me put you down. I gotta get ready. Okay, so I'm trying to, you know, trying to decide whether or not I should reach out to him. A lot of people said, you know, why not? Go ahead and reach out to him, see what he says. I think, you know, some of you guys said, yeah, you know, you're his only daughter so far, right? And that I should maybe reach out to him and see what he says. And then some people, you know, some of you guys are like, no, I don't think you should reach out to him because what's the point? Like, Alex has already told us how he was. Brendan has filled us in on how he was and, you know, kind of like what it was like growing up with him. So it was almost kind of like it's pointless to reach out to him because then I'm putting myself out there for heartache, and I just, you know, it's just not what I want to deal with. So I thought about it, and after a lot of consideration, you know, with your guys' opinion and input, and just really thinking, like, what do I want to achieve out of this? You know, what do I want to get out of this? I decided that I'm not, you know, I'm not going to reach out to him. I have his email, and I don't really think I want to. I don't really think I want to email him. And, you know, I said the ball is in my court, right? Remember on one of my videos, I said the ball is in my court. I have his email, but you guys are right. The ball is not in my court because now he has my information. He knows I exist, but he still hasn't reached out. So is the ball really in my court? No, it's not. So I don't know. I think that after just kind of battling with it and going back and forth, I've decided that I'm not going to. I've gone, you know, my whole life without even knowing anything about him, and I feel like I've done pretty well. What do you guys think? And I just don't have, I guess I don't really have a desire to open up that can of worms, knowing that it's probably not going to be a positive outcome, you know? So I don't think I'm going to reach out to him. Now, if he reaches out to me and he, you know, says hi and, you know, send me a picture, or how are you doing, or whatever, you know, tell me about your life growing up, then I'll respond, you know, but I'm not going to put myself out there and reach out to him first. I think I had a lot of curiosity when I first found out that he, you know, that I had a different bio dad, and just, this was before, you know, before talking to Alex, before talking to Brendan, and before really knowing who he was. I suffered with a lot of abuse, childhood abuse with my mom, physical abuse, definitely some psychological abuse, a lot of emotional abuse. And, you know, for some cultures, they think it's normal to poke at your weight and to make fun of your appearance. And I struggled a lot with just a lot of my self-confidence growing up, never really feeling like I was good enough. So that, along with a lot of physical abuse. So knowing that with my mom, because she had put me through all that trauma, you know, and I think growing up, I didn't really think that there was anything wrong with it, you know, because that's how I grew up. So for me, that was normal. I just thought that that's how everybody grew up. And it wasn't until later in life that I realized, like, no, this is not normal. You should not be physically abusing your children. You should not be talking down to them and belittling them and making them feel like they're not good enough no matter what they do, you know. So because I struggled with that childhood trauma and that abuse, when I first learned about my bio dad, I guess I kind of wondered what my life would have been like if, you know, if I grew up with him instead. I wondered what it would be like if he knew about me, if my life would be different, and if he would have wanted me in his life instead of growing up in the abuse, you know, in the abusive home that I had. And the dad that raised me is, as you guys saw in one of my other videos, he's a great dad. But he never really stopped any of the abuse that was happening. I think a lot of it he probably didn't know about, but a lot of it, I think he was just so afraid to lose my mom and lose me and my siblings that he just didn't really, you know, he kind of just did whatever my mom wanted him to do. So he, in more or less words, just kind of turned a blind eye to the abuse that was happening in the home. So I don't blame him for that, you know, and I don't, there's a lot that I could go into with my mom and all the stuff that I am still currently processing as an adult, but we'll go into that another time. I just wanted to let you guys know about the decision that I made on not reaching out to my bio dad. I don't think, you know, knowing that he is also a narcissist. And I don't know if you guys remember, but I said in one of my other videos that, like, I know what it's like to grow up with a narcissistic parent. I believe that my mom was also a narcissist and, you know, very manipulative in the situations that she kind of put us through. So after realizing that, I don't think I want to, it's probably a good thing that I didn't grow up with Paul, that's his name, with Paul, just because I don't know if I would have survived growing up with 2 narcissistic parents instead of just one. You know, I think maybe this way, although my dad didn't really shield us from the abuse. This way, still growing up with him, you know, he was maybe there to balance it out in a way, because he wasn't narcissistic and he wasn't abusive. So maybe, you know, that was kind of how it was supposed to go. And not growing up with Paul and having both my parents be abusive and narcissistic. And I don't know if Paul would have been abusive. So I think that's kind of the whole reason why I entertained possibly reaching out to him and stuff, but I don't know. I've come to the conclusion that I'm not. Sorry, guys. That I'm not going to reach out to him. I do have a dad. You know, I did grow up with a dad, so I don't think I'm really missing out in the dad department. Knowing the type of person he is, I don't think that that's someone I really want in my life. You know, I've come to the realization in where I am in my life now that if you aren't bringing anything positive into my life and you're not making a positive impact, there's not really a reason for you to be in my life. You know, I don't want a lot of negativity. I just don't want to deal with, you know, if you're going to be in my life, I want you to be a positive person. I want you to be a positive impact on me, my family, my children. You know, and even if that's just like to put a smile on my face or to brighten my day, or, you know, just to put out some good vibes out there. I don't, you know, the negativity is, you know, it just kind of brings you down, and it's not really what I want to have in my life, you know? Like, I feel like life is stressful enough. Why add to it and make it even more stressful, you know? So yeah, I think that's kind of why, or that's how I got to that conclusion of how I decided to whether or not, you know, I should reach out to him and have that relationship. And I'm sorry, you know, for the people that I disappointed that wanted me to reach out to him or thought I should reach out to him. But I hope you guys support me in the decision that I made on not reaching out to him and not having a relationship with him. And I hope you guys understand, you know, you don't have to agree, right? You don't have to agree with the decision that I made, but I hope you understand kind of where I'm coming from. And I know that there is, Leah and Blair put out that new video with Albert and meeting him and stuff, meeting Paul, and he seemed really happy, and I'm really, really happy for him. I'm glad that it turned out in a positive way. I know that was like his childhood dream, so I really, really am glad that things turned out in a positive way for him, that he didn't turn him away or, you know, anything like that. So that being said, I'm happy. I'm happy for Albert. I'm happy that Leah and Blair were able to help him get to that point and help him reach something that, you know, that really meant a lot to him. I wish that Albert could have grown up with my dad, you know, instead of not having a dad at all. I think Albert really would have felt loved, and he wouldn't be looking for that father figure in his life, you know. So unfortunately, things kind of have a way of, you know, working out, and maybe this is exactly what Albert needed to kind of either open up or close that chapter in his life or whatever. I know this video is getting kind of long, so I don't want to make it too long. But I I do still struggle with a lot of the emotional and psychological and physical abuse that I endured as a child. It's something that I work on daily, especially with my children, you know, knowing that I was abused and, you know, you shouldn't abuse your children and things like that. So if you guys want to know more about that, I can definitely try to open up a little bit more on that department. It's probably not going to be a comfortable conversation, but I am processing through it. So if you guys want to hear more about that, then, you know, let me know. And if there's anything else you guys want me to address, you know, I am open to suggestions. There was one other thing I wanted to see. I know that I mentioned I have a sibling that kind of started this whole DNA testing thing. So the other thing is, do you guys want to maybe have that sibling of mine be as like a guest speaker type thing? You know, would you like to see us talk and have a video together and talk about that journey? So, you know, you guys can kind of understand where it all started and, you know, my sibling's thought process and then my thought process. And, you know, if that's something you guys want to do or want to see, let me know. And I guess that is it for now. I will try to update you guys more, but as you guys know, I am, you know, we're trying to move, and we don't move until next month, so we do have a little bit of time, but I just trying to kind of get things ready and trying to do all the things. So I might not post as many videos just because, you know, my kids are also out of school, so trying to entertain everyone, you know, now that everybody's home. So yeah, that is it for today. If you guys have any questions or you want me to address anything or you want me to talk about anything specific, please let me know in the comments. You know, just comment below. And I hope that this video wasn't like a downer because I just want to kind of update you guys and kind of let you in on my life and kind of what I went through and, you know, the decisions I make and why I make them and things like that. So yeah, that's it. I hope you all enjoy this video. If you have any suggestions or you want to know anything specific, let me know. All right, bye.